Let's get started then. So welcome everyone. We will be driving the slide deck for all of you. And we'll get just things moving right now, just on time. You've 3 minutes, 3 slides, and normally we'll have 3 dragons. We're recording this session, as you've probably seen, and those sessions will be posted to the YouTube channel of LocWorld. So LocWorld's YouTube channel, we'll send links afterwards. The idea is we're going to have 2 preliminary rounds over 2 days, today and tomorrow. And the dragons will review, and based on their scores, 6 finalists will be announced for LocWorld in Malmö. So best of luck to you all. That's the kind of rules bit done. Just something to bear in mind, we will have some time after you pitch, right? That's 3 minutes. So try and finish around 2:50 if you can. We'll then have time for 1 question from one of the dragons. And that'll be a short question. So who are our dragons? We have Julia, who's on the call, Johan Spore, and Christina Anselmi as well. Christina, I'm in touch with, and would you believe is on the wrong call, so we'll get that sorted
I'm here.
for her. Oh,
I'm here. Good. Yeah.
Delete what I just said. Great. So welcome, Christina. And both myself and Marina, our hosts, very happy to have Marina join us and our dragons this year. So without further ado, let's get on with it. This is the order, which hopefully doesn't surprise anyone. So Agustin will ask you to come up first, and after that will be Tomáš, and the order as you see there. So best of luck to everyone. Good luck with your pitch. And Agustin, can I ask you to join the stage?
Thank you.
By the way, just before you kick off, Agustin, just to give you another moment of nerves or calmness. We will progress all of the slide functionality, any animation functionality. You just ask us to go next or next slide, and we'll do it on your behalf. Over to you.
Thank you so much. So, greeting from Seattle, folks. I'm Agustin, the Fieno Delucchi from Microsoft, and if you're attending this call, you know that in our industry, context is everything. So today, I want to introduce you to Contextualize, a solution to fix a core problem in our industry, missing context in localization workflow. Next slide, please. So the truth is that missing context doesn't just cause confusion, it costs millions. Poor translation hurt user experience, damage brand trust, and often require expensive rework. And for decades, we have been asking developers to create content that is supposed to be written for linguists, the comments in the user interface. So some of them don't even know how to do it. So, and sometimes they don't do it. So there's time wasted and the instructions are not accurate. And yet we expect linguists to make accurate choices without context or clues that are obvious to developers. That disconnect is the root cause that we are tackling. As you can see, billions for the industry in general, software and localization. Next slide, please. So Contextualize is a smart pipeline plugin that solves this at the source. It automatically extracts clues from code. Next animation, please. From the code, and then it extracts the information from there, and then you will see that through the help of the LLM of your choice and in connection with your operational layers, you can extract automatically these comments that then also, if you can go to the next animation, please, create a text-based representation, an SVG, of the context of the user interface. So all this information can pass from the code directly into the translator with just as pure text. So next slide, please. So the impact to the industry is massive. It's an impact at scale, as call it. So you can see that in addition to all these great savings, you also have higher translation accuracy, reduced rework, better reuse of existing content, and a happier translator. We are just not improving efficiency. We are turning localization into this smarter AI-driven process. And that is my pitch.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Agustin.
Yes.
And yeah, apologies about the slowness on animation, but we gave you a bit of extra time.
Oh, no worries,
as well.
no worries.
Thank you very much. So Dragons, questions?
Yeah, first one. So I don't know if you can go back to the slide where you had the context. Dave, is this possible? The context generated. My question is, do you have data on the accuracy of the comment and sort of mock image generated? How do you collect feedback from translators on this, and how do you iterate?
Sure. We run this through a few loops of reviews with translators on how would they see the comments on these. What we got overall was an improvement of about 65% in the current comments, or the lack of them, from the resources that we were passing to them. We also work with them in terms of what you see there is obviously a mock-up of the automatic comment, but certainly what the final solution provides to them is a multi-phase contextual layer that it also tells you even if the word of the string passed to them is actually what kind of grammatical role it plays. Is it a noun? What is it? And then a lot other information that they wanted to collect from us. So,
Yeah.
and so yes, did that answer your question, Julia?
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Time flies. Thank you very much, Agustin.
Thank you.
Marina.
So now let's proceed to the next presenter, our next contestant, and I'm very happy to invite to the stage Tomáš Burkert from RWS, who's going to talk about LLM synthetic data generation study.
Thank you very much. All right, hello, my name is Tom Burkert, and I'll talk about the LLM synthetic data generation study, in which we looked at the performance of LLMs beyond English. Next slide, please. So the way we see it, the LLM benchmarking paradigms is fundamentally broken. Almost all of the benchmarks are heavily English-centric. Our study evaluated a range of languages so that we could assess what the true multilingual capabilities of LLMs are. Second, while the automated and AI-driven evaluation frameworks certainly have their place, we do not think that AIs evaluating AIs should be the dominant way of benchmarking LLMs. After all, humans are the ultimate arbiters of what quality is, right? Which is why evaluated using multiple skilled linguistic experts. Most benchmarks also measure performance on tasks with clear success criteria, such as coding or reasoning, but do not tell you how the models perform in open-ended tasks, such as conversations or synthetic data generation. Also, not enough attention is given to the efficiency of tokenizers. They are the connective tissue between the human input and the neural networks, and their efficiency has direct and significant impact on the cost of usage. Next slide, please. So in our study, we tested 9 different models and on 8 different languages, ranging from short tail to long tail, and we tried to cover a variety of language families and writing systems. We also designed 6 different tasks focusing on synthetic data generation, but as you can see, we also included tasks like translation. 100 sentences were generated for all of the possible combinations of these, and then evaluated by 3 professional linguists on multiple metrics. As a result, we had over 40,000 generated sentences and over 250,000 ratings. Next slide, please. So we'll publish a full 140-page report soon, but just to give you a little taste of the results, the overall winner was Claude Sonnet 3.5. However, when you look at the different use cases, it gets more complicated. For example, Gemini was the one that created the most varied outputs, and GPT-4o had the best performing tokenizer. There were also some interesting surprises, such as a relatively small performance gap between GPT-4o and GPT-4o Mini, or that the mid-size 70 billion llama model was beating the full-size variant on multiple occasions. Now, a couple of observations. Even with detailed instructions and metrics, we saw some misalignment among our linguists, especially on the naturalness score. Alignment of evaluators still remains a tricky business and requires special attention in human evaluation studies. The performance of LLMs highly depends on the use case, which is why we suggest a data-driven approach and evaluation of multiple LLMs for each specific use case. And last but not least, we've seen the LLM space evolve really fast. Therefore, it is crucial to establish a practice of thorough multilingual benchmarking, which is why we'll publish the full methodology in our upcoming report. So that's all for me. Thanks for your attention, and I hope you found this interesting.
Very well done, Tomáš. And you're early, just by the way. You didn't get a little note there from Marina, so that's always a good sign.
Better than being late.
All right, good stuff. Dragons, do we have time for a short question? Or do we have a short question?
I'm very interested in the methodology, but I will be waiting for the report. Looking forward to that.
Great. Thanks, Christoph.
I'm just wondering, isn't this actually existing already in the market?
So
I've seen similar studies.
Truly multilingual ones are really rare. There's some benchmark that are multilingual, such as the multilingual MMLU, which is actually published by OpenAI. But this one is basically a translation of the MMLU, which is like a language understanding / reasoning benchmark, which doesn't really test what are the natural language outputs of those models, right? So there are certain benchmarks or studies which look at the performance in different languages, but those are usually very specific contexts, such as solving problems within the language, which is different from conversation or synthetic data generation. Or in some cases, it might be testing their outputs, but again, in very specific cases, such as like translation. We've seen a lot of papers on like one-shot, zero-shot, few-shot translations using LLMs. That's quite common because that's a very compelling use case. But as to my knowledge, there's no like a truly multilingual assessment of what the synthetic data generation in natural language is across different models.
Great.
Happy to be proven wrong, but we haven't found any.
Thank you,
and
Tom.
I'm sure the conversation can go on and on, right? Thanks very much, Tomáš.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you very much. So let me invite to the stage our next contestant, who is Martin Chrastek from Argos Multilingual, who's going to talk about the very much needed standardization of localization style guides. Martin.
Hello, everyone. Dear Dragons, I'm Martin, and I'm a localization engineer at Argos Multilingual. So let's dive right into the presentation, if you can. Thank you very much. So as Marina already said, style guides are a crucial challenge when it comes to using them in AI translation. They are essential to guide the AI to maintain a proper tone and accuracy. However, most of these style guides exist in unstructured formats, such as PDFs and Word documents. Using them directly in the AI prompts increases the token count, especially with longer guides. Also, there is no standardized format, as already mentioned, like we have for XLIFs and TBX and TMXs that could be utilized here. And also, every client and language has its own set of requirements, further complicating the process. Next slide, please. To overcome these challenges, we've developed an innovative solution, a standardized structured format for style guides that is fully integrated into AI translation workflow. Here you can see a very simple diagram that outlines our process. It begins with an existing style guide, which is then followed by the AI AD structuring. This step is the essential one that transforms the guide into a structured style guide, ensuring that all sections of the style guide, descriptions, and examples are clearly defined and machine readable. Finally, the structured style guide is used in the translation. If a client doesn't already have their own, we integrate our pre-created style guide specific for the targeted language. This ensures that regardless of the starting point, the output is a clean and standardized document. Furthermore, this approach not only standardizes the style guide format, but it also reduces the overall size and complexity of the guide. Next slide, please. So here's a part of a structured style guide in a JSON format. This style guide is for Brazilian Portuguese, and the example shows how to handle fractions, stating that the fraction should be presented as symbols. The structure includes a clear description of both good and bad translation examples are for the source string mentioned as well, which makes it easier for AI systems to apply this rule consistently. This is key to ensuring accurate and consistent translations. Next slide, please. So let's have a look at the real-world impact. Our structured format has reduced the size of style guide by up to 30 times, which has led to significant cost savings and faster AI translation. Also, this innovation has improved translation quality across tens of languages, a benefit that has been validated with multiple enterprise clients. Looking ahead, we believe that this solution has the potential to become an industry standard and pave the way to a more efficient and cost-effective future in AI-driven localization services. Thank you for your time, and I'm ready to take any question you may have.
Thank you very much, Martin. Yeah, good on time, by the way. Julia, you have a question.
Yes, you said you validated this with a number of enterprise customers. Can you share something about the methodology of the validation?
We've been collaborating with our clients to ensure that the style guides include all the necessary information within their from their existing style guides within the new structure. And we've been running few test examples on a few test projects, so we can ensure that the style guide actually is a proper representation of what the original style guide meant. We don't have a set of numbers that I can show here, but this has been validated.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Martin. That's a really fascinating topic and one of my favorites. So now let's move to another super fascinating topic, and that is automatic post-editing for terminology and style in CAT tools, presented by Elena from Custom MT. Elena.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me well? Yes. Hello. Thanks. So we can move on. So I will present today a way to basically chain up the LLMs with other machine translation tool like Google, DeepL, or whatever other machine translation provider that you would want to use. The tool has easy prompting interface when it's possible to choose the LLM that you want to use for post editing, then set the temperature that you want to use, therefore the creativity of the model, and then create your own prompt. The prompt can be very easy, like make this translation more formal or informal, or it can be structured as the one that you are seeing right now, considering both the source and the target translation to be then compared from one to another, or to apply the style guides your own style guide to the machine translation. Next slide, please. In the same tool, it is also possible to insert a glossary, so use the terminology during translation, so the post editor will be shown the translation with the terminology already inserted. As you can see here, the glossary that can be used is a simple Excel file or a CSV file with two columns, the source and the target, and then this can be applied to any machine translation. In this case, you can see the translation coming from Google and the glossary being applied by an LLM. Next slide. Thank you. So this can be then easily applied in CAT tools, right? So RWS, Trados, that's the one that you see here in the screenshot, memoQ, SmartLink, but also in other systems like XTM, SmartCat, and e-commerce websites. As you can see, the first translation, the NMT translation comes from DeepL and it says, my name is Elena. If then I apply the machine translation with the terminology that we just saw and the snippet of the glossary that I applied, my name has become Hela for some reason. And as well, applying the prompt that we saw in the first screenshot, it's using the informal do form in Swedish in this case. This can be applied for all machine translation and for all languages that are out there. And that would be kind of it. Was that fast?
Right.
Maybe too fast. Sorry.
Well, look, time is our currency, Elena. Helena?
Elena, yes. Yeah. Or Hela, if you want, since
Hela,
we're here.
yeah.
Hela.
There you
It was fast
really
and clear.
nice job on that.
It's an easy tool. It's an easy tool to use, so fast to explain. See? That will conclude me.
That's memorable. And Dragons, do we have a question for Elena?
It's interesting to read in Swedish because we don't have any formal or informal tone anymore, not since 1968.
I remember that from my Swedish time.
So.
But German works as well.
Yeah, because I've seen proprietary solutions in other TMSs before. So for me, it's not really something new. But what I would like to see is what I see as good is that it's independent of solutions. So what if I do not use a TMS? Can I use it outside a TMS?
Yes, we do have an API that you can use to create a link to any tool, and we also provide services to integrate this. For instance, we have integrated this into e-commerce solutions, and we also have another proprietary platform when you can integrate the console, so the environment that I have shown, and that you can use like an independent tool for translation.
Okay, thank you.
Great. Short question, short answer. We like that as well. Just want to welcome anyone who just arrived a little late. You're at the first preliminary round of pick number 18. Yeah, 18. We're coming of age at the pick. So you're very welcome to join us. We've just heard from Elena, and we're going to move on to the next innovator, as we always do. Marina.
And our next innovator is Henk Boxma from XTM, who is going to talk about multilingual software videos at scale. Welcome to the stage.
Thank you. Yes, hello everybody. My name is Henk Boxma. I'm working for XTM International, and today I'm going to talk about localized software videos at scale. Next slide, please. So imagine Alex. Can you, next slide? Yeah. So Alex bought a new printer, and with this printer, he gets written instructions. You all know them, right? In all the languages. And these instructions explain him how to install the printer driver and how to configure the printer via a web application. At best, he gets the written instructions in his own language. But actually what he prefers is a video. So why don't we provide him with a video? So first of all, creating those videos is very expensive. It's very hard to keep up with new releases. And last but not least, if you want to have those videos post-produced in, all the different languages, this will take forever. But this was basically yesterday's problem, because if you go to the next slide, we have a solution for this. So we can reuse those written instructions as a guidance when a user clicks through the user interface. And with our software UI recorder, what we do is we can basically record all the actions that Alex does, or the user does. And we also capture HTML previews for every new page that you visit. And using this, we basically have all the ingredients to generate a video. We have the text that we can convert to speech. We have the HTML previews. We have all the actions. So on top of this software UI recorder, we have a technology where we can generate those HTML previews in any language that has been translated. So given that, we have all the ingredients to generate the multilingual videos. So, and if you go to the next slide, please, we can generate everything in one go. So Alex, back to Alex. Alex, you now have your video in your language. And the good thing here is that we now have a solution that not only you have it, but all customers around the world have it. And we can now basically generate all multilingual videos in a breeze. It's fast because we only need to record it once. The turnaround time to get those localized videos is because all is automated. It's almost reduced to 0. And if we want to add an additional language, this can be done in minutes. So does maintenance and updates. And so best of all, we have a very cost-effective solution to generate those multilingual videos at scale. So this is great for the clients. It's great for Alex. And when Alex is happy, we are happy. So this was basically my pitch.
Amazing. Henk, thanks. And Alex, thanks very much. Right on time, by the way. Dragons, do we have a question?
Yes, the text-to-speech element is also done natively through software, or there's a plugin?
So for the text-to-speech, so we have the written instructions. So from these written instructions, we can either generate them one-to-one to speech using synthesized speech. We could even, let users rewrite them and then get a speech, or let it be spoken by a natural person. So there are different ways of doing that. But ideally, you could do it one-to-one from the written instructions.
And there's a summarization of that?
There's
a summarization layer? Sorry, there's a summarization layer from the instructions before the text-to-speech?
It really depends how you write those written instructions. So if you really do, navigate here, do this, do that, then you basically can generate it pretty one-to-one. And otherwise, somebody else needs to basically rewrite those written instructions a bit to make them, to prepare them for text-to-speech.
Okay, thanks.
But the key point here is really the software UI recorder. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Hen. Very exciting, very interesting. And I don't know whether you noticed, but the level of automation increases as we progress in our pitches. And the next one is even more automated. It's project automation with agentic AI, which will be presented by Gábor Ugray from memoQ. Gábor, I invite you to the stage. If you're there.
Hi, I'm here. Perfect.
Good.
Now I can see the slides. Hi, I'm Gábor, and I will talk about an AI agent for project automation with memoQ TMS. We call it Agent M, and it's currently in the prototyping phase at memoQ. Next, please. Because AI agents are a very new thing, I decided to start with a bit of storytelling to illustrate how a day in the life of a project manager might look like when working with Agent M. So these are the dramatis personae. This cat is not just a cute illustration. I'm using it to represent Agent M, the AI agent, and the computer at the bottom is memoQ TMS. Next, please. So if in the morning you received an email from a client asking you to translate a set of documents, then this is how you would formulate verbal instructions to Agent M. Import these files into a project. Find translators who have previously worked for this client and currently have no job assigned to them, and assign them to the documents. Next, please. At this stage, the agent AI would basically go to work and create a set of API calls and also issue those API calls to retrieve the necessary information from memoQ TMS. Next, please. It will then generate an action plan and share it verbally. I will use these translators. I will import the files with these settings because we used those previously, etc., etc. There can be a bit of back and forth between the project manager and the AI to finalize the action plan. And then next slide, eventually the project manager gives the go-ahead. Next, please. And the agent, the AI agent, gets to work, generates a new set of API calls which actually carry out these actions in memoQ TMS, create the project, import the documents, etc. So I want to say a few words about the values underlying this effort. We don't believe in lights-off project automation that much, meaning there is no human involved. We believe that a lot of complex processes in the world keep working because there are highly skilled and empowered humans available who make them, keep them running. So we want to create an AI agent that gives PMs superpowers by retrieving information, structuring it for them, creating and refining action plans sort of collaboratively, and carrying them out. So in a sense, we are talking about a new paradigm to interact with a mature productivity tool like memoQ TMS in a way that does not involve clicking around in a graphical user interface. Next, please. And finally, I want to mention a couple of the elements that are innovative in this endeavor. Next, please. We are using the latest model of reasoning AI models. Next, please. Specifically, we are using a capability that they have called tool use in ChatGPT. This is called function calling. It's also called model context protocol. Next, please. And in order to communicate the APIs to the LLM that they can use, we use a programming technique called reflection to reduce the manual work involved in explaining the API functions available. And finally, we are creating custom help pages and other custom content to make this AI agent a really smart and efficient one. So thank you very much. That was my pitch. Thanks for listening to it.
I have a question about this.
We always embrace gremlins. I was muted, of course. Someone had to be. Gábor, I just want to say well done. And
thank you.
Yeah, well done to the cat as well.
Credit goes to our graphic designer, Andrea Todd.
Well done to Andrea. Christina, question.
Yeah, very interesting indeed. And I was wondering, does the PM have to formulate the prompt every time, or do you automate those as well according to maybe, I don't know, different clients and so on, sending the similar kind of requests?
Yeah, that's a really, really good question. So we are at sort of an early stages of prototyping this, and now we are focusing on making these prompts work, making the system do what the project or the human interacting with the system really wants. But also a lot of the prompts, as you say, are repetitive, so it's kind of interesting. But then again, if you sort of add too many layers and you can check for a menu, then you go back to the original paradigm, which is checking from a user interface. So that's definitely an interesting question to research.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Gábor. I love the cat as well.
Thank you.
And now let's move from cat agent M to a multi-agent. And I would like to invite to the stage Raffaele Pascale from Argos Multilingual to talk about AI-powered multi-agent LQA.
Sure. Hi, everybody. I'm Raffaele Pascale. Thank you very much for this opportunity. I'm an AI product and solution manager at Argos Multilingual. And today I'm going to present our AI-powered multi-agent LQA solution. Next slide, please. So we all know in this audience that linguistic quality assurance is essential in the translation workflow, but we all know that is also broken because it's manual, expensive, and time-consuming. So reviewers can only cover a small fraction of content, sometimes the 10 or 20%, and most of the errors go undetected. Teams are overworked. LQers need to be trained on reference materials like style guide, tone of voice, glossaries, and deadlines are tight, and the process itself doesn't scale. So next slide, please. Our Mosaic LQA is our breakthrough. It uses AI to review all content, segment by segment, not just a sample, but with a speed of up to 4,000 words per hour and more with all our recent studies. Multiple AI agents basically work on the back end, detecting and validating all the errors, updating also the error categories and severities if needed, and minimize all false positives. Then a human expert steps in to verify all the errors validated by the AI, but they review only what it really matters. So it's customizable, it's fast, it's standalone, and can be used by anyone, and fully aligned with all MQM standards. As a result, Mosaic LQA can reduce the time and costs up to 85%. Next slide, please. So in our pilot that we conducted with our clients, we reviewed over 1.6 million words across 8 languages. A manual review would have taken more or less 1,500 hours and up to £70,000. But with Mosaic LQA, we did it in 151 hours, under £30,000, including human costs and also time, reducing the time of 90% and with a 95% agreement between humans and AI results. So we've shown that it scales easily, is ready for integration with desktop and online CAT tools, and changes LQA from a bottleneck into a business advantage. So this is not just an upgrade for us, but a transformation. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Raffaele. And I can LQA your timekeeping is amazing as well as what you presented. So great job on that. Julia, question from you.
How do you, I mean, the time reduction and the cost savings are impressive, right? Like, but how do you assess the accuracy compared to what you had in the trade-off between quality and cost?
Well, we basically measured these with usual productivity we have on the LQAs using humans and using basically humans reviewing all AI experiments we performed, measuring basically the results that we had with AI together with human results, without, of course, being the humans biased by any AI, because we didn't tell we were performing the experiment. And then we were able to really like measure the real data in terms of cost reduction and time.
And from a quality perspective, like, did it change by how much? The accuracy, was it any different than when you were using people?
Well, exactly the same in terms of catching errors. So like, well, AI was even more performing better than humans, we want to say.
I was going to take a second question there, but Julia did it automatically. So well done, Raffaele. Thanks, Julia. Marina?
Thank you. I so much envy the dragons who can ask questions because I have millions, but we have to move on to our next contestant. And let me invite Yiyan Wu from Centific to talk about something different this time. We are going to look into smarter video localization with AI again for adapting on-screen content for global audiences.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Marina. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Good morning and good afternoon, everyone. So I'm GM from Centific Singapore. So my topic is on the smarter video localization using AI. Please go to the next page. Okay, so let's start with the problem. Now, as you can see, video has already become the dominant multimedia content over the internet. But the problem is the current video localization solutions are still limited to the, for example, the subtitles or, for example, dubbing. And this means the key visual elements like the labels, text, signage, or so on. If you want to do the in-depth changes, then it is very time-consuming. For example, you need to do the manual editing for the video files, frame by frame. And this is our motivation to bring and develop our video localization solution using our fine-tuned large language models. So here, from these several video frames, as you can see for our company's multilingual demo video, so you can see the original English version, we can do the video localization to be changed into the Chinese, French, and the Swedish versions. Okay, let's go to the next page. Next page, please, slides. Yeah, you can watch the video, yeah. So, okay, this page presents the framework of our video localization solution. As you can see, for the original video, we'll use the OCR AI models to detect the on-screen text, for example, the labels, text, titles, or the so on. Then we'll use our fine-tuned large language models for the different languages, for example, to do the cultural mapping, to do the output rendering. And finally, our system is able to understand the context and also the cultural environment of the input text and the output, we can say the translations or the replacement, which are considered to be the, we can say, appropriate in terms of both language and also the culture. So this is like the general framework of our solution. And the target is like, we want to make the video localized so that the audience can view this is a native and also customized videos for this, for the target audiences. Okay, next slide, please. And this page presents the improvement of our solution. As you can see in the right bar chart, our automated localization solution comparing with the existing manual editing process is able to hit up to 70% time reduction. But in parallel, our solution is able to achieve consistent quality across more than 20 types of languages based on our actual evaluations. And based on our existing, we can say, commercialized solutions with our customers like the Amazon, PayPal, or so on, we can say our solution can be easily scaled up by integrating into the different localization pipelines. So in conclusion, we can say our solution combines both visual intelligence and language intelligence and visual analysis. And yeah, this is the end of my presentation, and I hope you like our work. Thank you.
Very good, Juan. Thank you very much. Very clear. Great stuff. Video again. Christina, question.
Yeah, thank you. So I was wondering, how do you make sure that the space limitation is actually taken into consideration for the localized text?
You mean it's like the different countries and the different cultures, right? Okay. Actually, in our current practice, as you can see, if we want to fine-tune the LLM, it's still like we need to customize the so-called terminology, which means, for example, mostly the technical terms as well as the symbols for the different languages. And when making those, we can say terminologies and the symbols, we ask our linguistic to take into account those cultural and also those region differences. And when we prepare those training materials, this is what we are currently doing. Yeah.
Thank you. And what I mean also, like, you know, the limitation of space that you have within the video itself. So to make sure that it doesn't like go to the space and so on. Do you have any way to do that? For example, I'm thinking Chinese versus German, for instance, the space is much different.
Yeah. That one is like more like, for example, assign the correct version of the video to the target audience, right? Then this is like we can say it's not the story of another algorithm. For example, based on the customer's IP, based on for example, the customer's profile, information data, this so yeah. Here we are talking about is like fine-tune the LM to just like do the translation. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you very much. We got 2 questions, and you're good with the time. But now it's time to move on to our next contestant, and that is Elise Farhat from Deliveroo, who is going to talk about how we can embed localization quality at every step of the process.
Thank you, Marina. Thanks. Hi, everyone. I'm Elise. I'm going to talk about the localization quality process I've set up in my company. And sorry to disappoint, I'm not talking about AI today. Next slide, please. So when I set up localization quality at Deliveroo, I wanted to understand why we had such a big quality discrepancy in our local products. And this despite conducting all the quality checks that you see on this slide. So where did this quality gap come from? In short, from localization not being involved past the review stage, if you can click Marina. And just like in most companies, from focusing mainly on copy quality. But what about design and functional issues that can't be spotted outside testing? Think about user acceptance tests, bug bashes, spontaneous bug reports. They belonged to engineers without any localization experts in the room. And this is how errors and inconsistencies are missed or introduced. So I had identified the quality gap. Now the question was, how could I bridge it? Next slide, please. As we all know, introducing a new process takes a lot of educating and persisting. So with so many stakeholders, my best bet was to meet them where they were by mirroring the established quality processes. How did I do this? I embedded localization in every quality report touchpoint. First, I created a dedicated category on OneStop. All localization bugs, whether spontaneous or part of a quality check, are reported onto our usual platform, then automatically assigned to me. All stakeholders, whether they are employees, translators, and so on, can use it. Our second touchpoint is our consumer app that you can see in the low demo, with stakeholders reporting directly from it. With our dedicated bug form, each report is assigned to me, and it generates a one-stop ticket too. Then all these reports are automatically categorized on a specific Jira board for me to triage, assign, and extract data from. The other process I mirrored is the pre-launch testing. So now localization checks every product alongside design and engineers before their launch. Next slide, please. So we now speak the same language for the same process as all stakeholders. Localization is a central actor to every quality check, from concept to post-release QA. Our fully automated and centralized process has saved us considerable time, and we now reduce errors by handling organic bug reports ourselves. Precious data is also extracted from Jira, replacing a once very manual process. So from capitalization errors to design truncation, the issues we've spotted are far from harmless. They usually involve big legal risks or even completely block the use of our product. And that's it for me. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Lisa. And who said quality wasn't cool anymore? With all the AI, aren't we going to need more quality? So well done. there. Dragons, do we have a question for Elise?
I think if there's no question, I'm very happy.
You almost got away with it there. Almost. Go ahead, Johan.
Almost got away, yeah. Yeah, because I see that this is a new way of working for Deliveroo. How would you see this applied to other organizations as an innovation?
To me, this is such a simple, scalable process to put in place because it's about following what everyone else does and making sure we're part of all the important discussions. The reason why I am not forgotten is because I am in the same room when testing is done. If I was to conduct localization tests separately, this is when we would lose time, where we would have redundancies or report the same bugs over and over again. Working as a team with the engineers to support us, this is where we have like earned a lot of time. Before that, we used to run QAs post-launch on our own without engineering support. So yeah, to me, this is something very easy to do. If everyone has a testing process in place with their engineer, follow it. Make sure you have your own category and that you become a central actor in it too.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Elisa. So now I have the honor to invite our last contestant today. This is Rachel Grewcock from Phrase, who is gonna give a pitch about another innovation where AI doesn't have the main role. It's not in the spotlight. So Rachel, tell us about content profiles.
Thanks, Marina. Hi, I'm Rachel from Phrase. We can make natural language work better for businesses using something we call a content profile. I'll walk you through the journey now of one of our customers. I'll show you the problem they faced and how we've solved it using this novel approach. So imagine I'm a content manager for a global e-commerce brand. We found a powerful voice that resonates and earns us trust from our customers, and it's my job to make sure that it reaches all of our global markets. Here are my biggest challenges in scaling localization so that our brand connects with all of our customers. Pinning down and articulating my content needs for every locale is near impossible. Keeping track of those changes, of those needs, and how they impact individual locales is a nightmare. When I come to process content, MT, customizing MT with ICL or fine-tuning, I can only go so far. With Gen AI, if I link my 80-page style guide to a model, 5-10% of it will be observed and the rest completely ignored. And so my only recourse is to manual post-editing. But my linguists don't have time to dig through 80 pages of unstructured suggestions and examples. Then evaluating that all of my needs are actually met across those locales and that every user is getting a comparable customer experience is impossible to do manually. All of this I have to do on a budget. So optimization is completely critical. But I can't optimize my system because the only available mechanism that I've got to meet my needs is manual post-editing right at the end of my workflow. Next slide, please. Next slide. This is exactly where the content profile comes in. A content profile is a new kind of language resource, something that humans, machines, and AI models can read and act on everywhere. It helps customers to capture their content goals up front and then structure these into one logical, manageable format. And then we use this single resource for each component of a workflow or agent in an agentic system to personalize content processing. That means content generation, MCP, adaptation, and it can even be used in evaluation. So I can have dynamic workflows with QE, QA, and fully customized LQA. Next slide. Thanks. Let's see the content profile in action during MT as an example. I've generated a content profile automatically from my existing language assets to capture the origin of communication. That's my brand, the intent, so why we're communicating in the first place, we're trying to sell something, and the audience to whom I'm directing my words. And then I provide my content profile to an MT engine, like NextGen MT. And in doing so, I improve translation quality across all language pairs, across all automated translation metrics, so blur, CHRF3, comments, etc. And content is fit for purpose earlier in my workflow, which unlocks massive optimization. We've seen 100K a month savings. And crucially, we're giving all of our end customers a way to have more personalized, authentic language experiences. Thanks.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Rachel. Very well done. Clear. at least from my perspective. Let's see what the dragons thought. Questions, dragons?
I mean, AI agents built on requirements. It's a new approach. But how much training is actually needed to get the requirements right? And also, what is good?
No training whatsoever. We do this without training. We're not using in-context learning. We're not using shots. We're not using fine-tuning. This is about providing a different format of instructions to a model at runtime, so we adapt on the fly. We don't require to 6 months in advance collect all our data in order, get it all structured just right, and have it at a certain quality and volume. Instead, we provide those instructions right in the moment that we make our request to whichever AI or human brain, actually, for that matter, is doing the content processing. That happens in the moment.
I was hoping. Go ahead, Johan, quickly.
Yeah, go you.
No, I'm just going to wrap, and I was going to say, Rachel, it's a pity you didn't have a mic, because I think you had a mic drop moment there. There was no training needed. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Sorry, the visual mic dropping. Yeah, sorry. My accent. Good. Well done, Rachel. Thanks, Johan. Good question. That brings us to the end, Marina. Can you believe it?
I'm so sorry. It felt like 5 minutes. I want to continue, and I have so many questions. I loved Rachel's comment about the human mind. I mean, human mind also needs the structured content, which helps AI as well. So yeah, now it's been fantastic. Wonderful pitches and wonderful innovations.
So well done to everyone, and thanks for allowing us to progress your slides forward. I think everyone got their message across very well. The tough job is with the dragons. Marina and we have the easy job. So the dragons will be doing their judging, which is parcel of this process, if you like, and this platform. And that's going to be happening. But before they do, we do have a second preliminary round tomorrow, which everyone here is welcome to join again, same time tomorrow. And we'll find out about mid next week how things are looking up. So look out for the results in our channels. And then finally, where are we all trying to get to? Well, LocWorld in Malmö. Hopefully Johan gives me some points for that pronunciation. Probably not too many, but I got 7. 7's good. I'll take 7. Thanks, Johan. So yeah, that's where we're going to be. And the final, we have 6 innovators in the final. That's what we've been doing for the past number of years. So good luck to everybody. Thank you very much, dragons. Thank you, dragons. Thank you, innovators. And thank you if you just joined to listen in and find out what's going on. And we'll see you again tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.